You heard the news. Yes, 100% completely sold out. We did an amazing training last week. It was the Neuropathy Decompression Certificate Program, and it was historic. And it was historic for a lot of reasons. Don't take my word for it. Let us show you why it was historic, and then we'll jump into some Q&A because a lot of you had a lot of questions. And that's why this was Dr. Kaplan's idea to do like kind of a quick recap review. He's going to take your questions. But it was an historic weekend. And it was historic not just for our family doctors, but everybody was fortunate enough to be in that room. As many of you know, it really was a double weekend. Number one, it was the grand opening of the first ever Life University Disc Centers of America Outpatient Clinic Educational Center. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 50. And the reason it was a 50 is because, not because of us, it was because of all the doctors that attended. And this was something that took a long time to put together. Life University contracted with us. They came to us and they said, we would love, love, love to take your model, to take your framework, to take your system, to take your brand and rename our entire outpatient clinic as a Disc Centers of America clinic. And when we asked why, they said, it's very interesting. We know a lot of your doctors. They do very well. It's a cash model. But we don't want our students graduating with 150, 200, $250,000 worth of debt and then having to go into, no disrespect, but to work for the joint because that's what happens. And if you do, well, you're employee and you're limited and it is what it is. We want doctors to be empowered. We want doctors to be energized. We want doctors to be entrepreneurial. So what they did was they renamed it. And what they did was they didn't just rename it. They went all in on Disc Centers of America. And the reason they went all in is because they know Dr. Kaplan and I and our entire team go all out. It's that simple. So what happened was like way more people showed up than we ever expected. We did an official ribbon cutting. It was wild. We had some incredible people lecture that weekend. I'm going to show you who they were. This was like much bigger than people actually thought. We had videographers, photographers, but there was a lot of teary eyes there. And let me tell you, they were happy tears. They were very, very happy. We couldn't even fit everybody in the tent. We actually could not fit everybody in the tent. And it was packed. And that's just one side that you see. You don't even really see the other side. But Dr. Kaplan and I were having so much fun because of the simple fact that all our family of doctors really treated this like the birth of a child, like the birth of a baby. They had that level of pride. They were excited about their future. They're excited about their brand. They're excited about their ability to penetrate the market for, obviously, patients that are getting epidural injections, microdiscectomies, laminectomies, spinal fusions. Dr. Kevin Fogarty, the chairman of the board, embraced this completely. He's one of our family of doctors, by the way. Dr. Brian McCauley, the president. We actually even had, as you can see, former NFL player, 3 Super Bowl rings, former team captain, defensive captain, Minnesota Vikings, Cincinnati Bengals, and yes, the Kansas City Chiefs. Dwayne Clemens. We'll talk about him. Dr. Kaplan's going to talk about him. But we were so honored, so privileged, so happy to be able to allow our founders. There were doctors that said, I want to be a founder of this clinic. So they contributed to that. And as they did, it started building momentum like no tomorrow. So we did a founder ceremony where everybody got recognized, acknowledged, awarded, and so much on. If you're curious what that actual award looks like, this is the actual award that they were given. This is a big one. This is 18 by 24 inches. You cannot miss this. And that's actually the founder's wall. And you're going to see, if you look close, you're going to see a lot of names that you know. You're going to see a lot of names that are legend in our profession. You're going to see a lot of names that you're going to go, OMG, I can't believe they're founders of this. And remember, this was not just a chiropractic thing. We had neuroradiologists, we had neurologists, we had medical doctors, we had internal medicine specialists, we had dentists, we had orthopedic surgeons. I can go on and on. We had some of the best who said, I want to be a part of this. And all I had to do was just, look in Dr. Kaplan's eyes and see how happy he was the entire weekend. He was just like the birth of a child. I mean, everybody was. It was nuts. I mean, and yes, of course, we did make the donation on behalf of, who, our mentor, Dr. Norman Shilley, MD, PhD, neurosurgeon, who has the most research in this space. and gave the blessing to Disc Centers America years ago, not just to us, not just to Dr. Kaplan, but to all of our Disc Centers America doctors. When you get the blessing by the guy who's the biggest in that space, it is a big deal. But we had a ton of fun. And what so many things that I loved was watching all the people that were founders. And even if you weren't a founder, it's cool because you were there to celebrate with us. But everybody came up and they wanted to take pictures and they wanted to, basically show that recognition. They are getting press releases on this, so it'll go on their website. They can share it with their market. It does become a promotional tool for their patients, for their status, for their celebrity, for their credibility. But people started lighting up social media with this. This is Jeffrey Young. We love him. He'll be at boot camp this weekend. Yeah, of course, because the Houston Astros are playing down in Florida. There he is, the one and only. And by the way, did you notice how big the Disc Centers of America ring is on DC? And DC is not just Doctor of Chiropractic. DC is not just disc chiropractor. Not DC is not just decompression chiropractor. DC is Dwayne Clemens. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They really, they followed our model. We contributed a mainstay. Obviously, it's never been about the money. We, Dr. Kaplan said, we're all in. We're going to donate a lot of this. We donated so much, and we were happy to do it. All the neon sides, the brands, the videos, the training videos, the pre-report videos, even the National Spinal Decompression Certification sign that you saw back in October at the National Spinal Decompression Certification that we taught at Trump National was there hanging up live, and it was illuminated. People were taking pictures of it, and it was so cool. Even guys like, I don't know if you could see this. You probably can't even hear it, but it's okay. This is just a walkthrough. Don't worry about the audio. The audio is not important, but what is, although Dr. Josh Hant did a spectacular job. And I don't know if you could see it, but he just did like a quick walkthrough of the clinic. And he posted this on his social media. And we wanted everybody to see. We had a lot of vendors that absolutely are part of our inner circle that support our doctors tremendously and contributed and donated technology there. Yeah, we had to buy some of it. Yeah, Dr. Kaplan and I spent a lot of money on it, but it was worth it. It's so worth it because it gives doctors the ability to learn the right way. Imagine if you're a student at the school. Imagine now that you attend Life University and you could learn about bulging disc, degenerative disc, sequestered disc, herniated disc. How do you treat that? What angles do you use? What technology do you use? How do you market it? How do you protocol it? How do you educate it? Yeah, this is the future. And, Dr. Kaplan is so big about paying it forward. He wanted to totally invest in the future of our profession. He got there before, like a lot of people. Credit to Dr. Josh Hant. And if you're curious who he is, his father is Dr. Jay Hant, who's also on the board at Life University and was also a classmate of Dr. Eric Kaplan. That's crazy, right? So many years ago, he was sitting front and center with his family and his wife, Kathy, and it was so beautiful. It was so moving. It was so powerful. And I mean, I can go on and on. There's Lily Fogarty. Yeah, you know her. And there's just so much, there was such an embrace of all this. I can go on and on. I'm actually going to cut it a little short, actually, because you did a great thing. But one of the biggest things was the next day, which was the National Spinal Decompression Certification. This does not happen if it's not for Dr. Kaplan. This was his dream. This was his vision. This was what he wanted for everybody. He said, you know what? The disc business and the nerve business go hand in hand. So we need to certify it. We need to protocol it. We're going to write an 800-page book on it. And the only reason I'm showing this, yeah, take your phones out. The only reason I'm showing this is probably the most popular slide because these are all the medications that actually cause neuropathy. So every time Dr. Kaplan shows this slide, everybody says, oh, wait, go back to that. I want to take a picture of it. So we're showing it here. I want you to see it. And it's really cool. And we had the best speakers in the planet. We had Dr. Sal LaRusso, Chairman Emeritus of the National Board of Chiropractic Examiners, talking about how to do it the right way. We had the great Dr. Jason Davis, who gave a lecture like nobody else on the planet. The great Dr. Michael Smith, who taught a hands-on peripheral neuropathy evaluation. And listen, anytime somebody brings out a laser pointer or an antenna pointer, you got to love that about Dr. Davis. Anytime somebody does that, they're serious. We had the great Dr. Stanley Kaish. We brought in doctors, educators, legends in neuropathy, in podiatric medicine as well, that never lectured to a chiropractic audience. He's 82 years old. He's a legend in the business. Every podiatrist knows about him, and we created an incredible podiatric chiropractic marketing campaign. We're going to talk more about that at the boot camps. Yeah, but if you look at the picture on the left, it moves me. And the reason it moves me is because, look close, look very close. He's got a tear in his eye. He's got 82 years old. We put him on the stage and we said, put a microphone, and he talked about amputation. He talked about how to save patients from amputation. Patients, the doctors loved him. They stood up for him. We shot videos with him that we're going to give as gifts to our doctors. It's so crazy. But he's a legend in podiatric medicine, and he sees, because he said, and this is the reason we brought him in, 80% of his diabetic neuropathy patients have a neuropathy. 80% of his diabetic patients have a neuropathy. I said, if there's any way we can get you to just hang out with us, just be in the room, osmosis. And they loved him and they stood up for him. And we shot a great video. This is Dr. Kaplan. He said, we're going to shoot a video. We're going to make it a gift to our doctors. We're going to blow them away. Dwayne Clemens did an exceptional job. He was there. He's so eloquent when he speaks because he talks about all his back problems, knee injuries. He talks about his history with spinal decompression. And he is doing big things with the NFL, which Dr. Kaplan will talk about. And he is literally a torch carrier for you guys, for the NFL, for Dissenters of America, for now Life University. How crazy is that? We gave away a ton of awards. Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt. Yeah, baby, let's go. We gave away a lot of shirts. We gave away a lot of swag. We recognized all the founders. We brought in doctors like Scotty Banks, who's the king of functional medicine, and talked about neuropathy. I mean, has known Dr. Kaplan for over 40 years. This was a home run. We brought in Dr. Nasir Makaram. Now, if you're curious who this is, he has some of the leading research in nerve regeneration. You could call it lightning in a bottle. You could call it a Powerball ticket. You could call it a dream come true. But if you could show me somebody in this business that can bring somebody to the table with a PhD from Georgia Tech, a fellow from Stanford, a chair of the glioblastoma program of Duke University, and an associate professor now of neurosurgery in Emory, that's the person I want to listen to. Never lectured to a chiropractic audience ever. You know, Dr. Kaplan's level of network influence is incredible. This is all because of Dr. Kaplan. I kid you not. I'll look you in the eye. Nobody has an outreach like him. He gave a lecture on a deep dive. It was so much fun. It really was a lot of fun. Of course, the great Dr. Jay Lombard, who has more testimonials from more amazing doctors than ever. His new book coming out, Solve the Puzzle, Save the Patient, gave a drop-dead, incredible lecture on neuropathy. Everybody loves him. As a matter of fact, we gave away the 800-page book to all the founders. In other words, if you're a founder, we gave you this book there live at Life University. You walked out with it. Well, guess what? We do have more books for our family of doctors, and you're going to see them as well. Yeah. That's right. Absolutely. He talked about his new product, incredible product, obviously called 4AIMS. And 4AIMS, obviously, as you know so well, 4AIMS is a supplement that is now overtaking many of the doctors' nutritional practices who were formerly basically prescribing nitric oxide. Go to the website, learn about it. If you want to buy a couple of bottles, go to the website, learn about it, see why this is a game over, game changer. You can buy a couple of bottles there, but guess what? If you want to sell it to your patients, you can do that too. So write down, but take a picture of this. 4AIMS, if you want to get your hands on a couple of bottles here. I actually have it. It's actually here. Boom, there it is. I take it. It's amazing. Dr. Kaplan takes it. It's incredible. But if you want to sell it to your patients, go to DR4AIMS. But this way you have a choice. It's amazing. And you want to talk about stopping traffic. When I showed this, there were more teary eyes in the room. You know who we're talking about, Dr. John D'Onofrio, former president of American College of Chiropractic Neurology. And as you know, gosh, if he was still around, he would absolutely be speaking on this stage. The great Dr. Sal LaRusso. We showed the pre-report neuropathy video, which our family doctors have complete access to. You want to build your neuropathy practice, get your hands on this video. And if you want to know about our why, it's about these two doctors here, Dr. Jason Kaplan, Dr. Devin Bard. Yes, they both lectured. Mic drop when they do it. Our son introduced him. I had no clue what he was going to say. People went nuts because he said some things that I can't believe he said, but they were deep and emotional and private and powerful and from the heart, and they were real. And it was, listen, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. You know what I'm talking about. And he took the mic and he got his own standing ovation, which is so cool. Jason Kaplan and Devin Bard get their own. So we don't have to ask people to stand for them. They stand for them on their own. But I got to tell you something. My favorite one of the day was, this never happened before. Dr. Kaplan actually had all three, I call it K3, but for the first time ever, Dr. Michael Kaplan, MD, Dr. Jason Kaplan, DC, And Dr. Michael Kaplan, big in biotech, he was there. It was a goosebump moment for me. He flew in specifically to support his brother, his father, descendants of American doctors, and then he had to catch a plane and fly right out. He's so busy, but it was so beautiful. Melinda Keller, as you know, killing it in Brooklyn, New York. She came up, but listen, this is all about one man. It is. I can rant and rave about him. It's incredible what he's done. Legend, legend. So much fun. Mike Smith gave an incredible lecture. And Dr. Kaplan actually donated his body to science there. And everybody loved it. All these camera phones came out. It was absolutely positively amazing. And at the end of the day, listen, I'm not going to read these testimonials to you. You want to read them, take a picture of it because they're that good. Awesome weekend, greatest ever, raising the bar, we don't stop, home run of conference. Frank G and Pietro, if you're curious who that is. Past weekend, far exceeded last year, fantastic speakers, new things, all that. I mean, I flew in, I flew out, it was so worth it. That was Dr. Believe it or not, Larry Ashkenazi, his brother was in my class in 1983 at Life College. I mean, the great, Dr. Scotty Banks, who was just so happy to be there. I mean, all these doctors from the heart gave testimonials that I have like at least 50 testimonials. There was only, it was sold out. And the room only holds so much. But I mean, this is what we get. I mean, thank you, Dr. Mike Barrett in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Yeah, that's where my wife came from. That's exactly right. I love that we cross pollinate. You get that. That's the big idea with MDs, doctors of podiatric medicine, researchers, scientists, neurosurgeons. Yeah, so much more. We cross pollinate this because we know if we put our doctors around the best minds in the business, only good things happen. He got that big idea. He learned it right away. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. We're so happy. I will agree this was the best one yet. I have so many of this stuff. I can just show you this. This was one of my favorite ones. And then we're going to go right into Q&A. But this is a new doctor who just joined our family I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Amazing doctor. He's got an incredible gym in Virginia Beach. It's called Chicks Beach Gym. His name's Dr. Morgan. If you're curious, you can call him yourself and ask him, how was it? But don't take my word for it. You could just screenshot this. These are the type of testimonials that Dr. Kaplan and I got. I will tell you, we got the most powerful testimonials ever in the history of what we do. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, from the heart. Like, you ask people to just say like a sentence or two. No. They were moved. Their lives are forever different. That's why you're on this Zoom meeting hanging out with us, because you want one thing. And hopefully we'll be able to answer a question for you. But what I want to do, if it's cool with everybody, is you know what, and you know what time it is. It's that time. And
Howdy doody.
so Dr. K, we could do it two ways. If you want to, you can, I know you have some ideas you want to share, but I also have some questions too that doctors sent in. And, I'll go at any pace you want because this is totally impromptu. This is the first ever non-scheduled Zoom meeting where people just jump right in.
So give me 300 seconds,
Sure.
and then you can start asking me questions. You know, one of the people today said, "Why do you do this? Why?" And the key word, if anyone ever attended my seminars, is why should they choose you as their doctor? There are so many doctors out there. Why do they choose you? And I'm going to tell you that people will choose you if you become the best. The enemy of great is good. Richard Branson said there are three I's in business. There are the innovators, there are the imitators, and there are the idiots. And, I'm going to tell you, spinal decompression was basically dead. DEAD. But when my son, Jason Kaplan, decided to go to chiropractic school, I knew there was a better way. Meaning, listen, I used to see 200 people a day, people. The day my mother died, may she rest in peace, I saw 249 people. I visited my mother at the hospital. I was not in a good mood. Why? She said, "What's the matter, son?" I said, "I didn't see 250 today, Mom. It would have been my record." She said, "Son, can't you be thankful for the 249 people that you saw? Not the one person that didn't show up." I live with that to this day. You see, doctors, why are you here tonight? Why did you come to Georgia? I will tell you, last night I watched Rudy. I love Rudy. And you know what? Every one of you, you're a doctor. Now, in the day to day, dealing with patients, dealing with insurance companies, you might not realize what a wonderful gift God has given you. But now, as I sit here at a certain stage in my life and I say, I'm a doctor, as I walk around knowing that I've been in two movies, Heartbreakers and Ali, I've dined with three presidents of the United States. I walk around and I belong to a very exclusive golf club whose name is named after the president. And that's not about politics, doctors. I don't care if people are Republican or Democrat. I say all the time, are they cash or check? My relationship with Perry Bard over 38 years, the fact that my son now has his own business and Perry's son has his own business, because one of the things that I love, people, I love being a doctor. I didn't always do that. I don't think Perry always did that. There was a time Perry walked away from being a doctor. He made his money and he said, nah, I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go into entertainment. I'm going to go into signage. I'm going to go into this. But you know what he realized? There's something about that DR that always brings you back. The way people look at you, the way people talk to you. If you walk away with anything from me tonight, I'm going to talk a little about my neuropathy. I'm going to talk about a lot of things, but I want you to just realize that you're a doctor and what a great thing that is. And with being a doctor, there's a legacy. One of the another question Parrot was asked today is, why didn't you do this at the student clinic? And I'm going to tell you why we didn't do it at the student clinic, for those that asked. Because the student clinic is a Life University student clinic. If you look at all the pictures that Perry showed you, it's this Centers of America, big, Life University, small. Perry and I chose the equipment. Perry and I chose the decor. Perry and I have chosen everything that sits in that clinic because, and hold on, doctors, so you know this, and I'll get it to you in writing. Perry and I did not take a penny for this. We donated our time, our energy, and our effort because, see, doctors, this is your legacy. I said last week at the grand opening, Winston Churchill says, you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. But that's not temporary, doctors. This is your legacy. Every time you treat a patient for free, God, in Judaism, I'm Italian and Jewish, doctors. So that means if I can't steal it, I have to get a good buy in it. But if you understand that, in Judaism, there's a word called mitzvah. When you do something for the sake of helping somebody, that's a mitzvah. And when you do a mitzvah for somebody else, God will bless you for that. And I'm not telling you to be religious. I consider myself more of a spiritual person than a religious person. But here's what I know, that the monies, doctors, and we have a meeting on Friday night with Kevin Fogarty. The monies that are raised, doctors, are going to go to two areas: research and scholarships. We're working on, I haven't even told Perry this yet, so this is the first time he's going to hear it. It's going to be the Kaplan Bard Scholarship Fund. We are going to create a scholarship fund thanks to you, doctors from Distance America. That's why we created the Founders Wall. You don't want to be a founder? Don't be a founder. That doesn't affect Perry and myself, but it only affects you. Why? When people want to choose you over the joint or over somebody else, don't you think there's pride in saying, I am a founder? I'm the founder of the first outpatient clinic associated with the university. Do you know, thanks to Dr. Bard and myself, with the help of Dr. LaRusso and utilization of our book that we wrote, that Life University will be having a course on spinal decompression. So the students now will be educated. And as I was telling one of the doctors today, I said, why don't I want to be in the student clinic? Because this is a Life University clinic. This is a Distance America clinic. Why do I want to be in a Distance America clinic? Because certain interns will be chosen to study there. These doctors will be your future associates because they will graduate school, they will be educated, they will be indoctrinated, they will know how to utilize the equipment that we utilize and recommend, and they will be able to help you. You see, I wrote in my book, Can't Stop Me, #1 bestseller. What's your legacy, doctors? How are people going to remember you? I said at my brother's eulogy, when somebody dies, okay, people die twice in a lifetime. Once when they stop breathing, but once when they forget your name. I'm hoping for a long time the name Kaplan, the name Bard, will stand around what we've done for our sons, and yes, for Distance America, because we reinvented decompression. Don't you understand? Perry didn't put his son into it because not just because he loves his son, he knew it was a great profession. But do you know how many doctors I spoke to and say, "Oh, I would never want my kid to be a chiropractor." Do you know? And I've told my son, it's the greatest profession in the world. It's not an easy business. But it's our job, doctors, to make a difference in the future. And that's why you have to know, like, what we're doing, doctors, for our clients, not just the founders, for all of our clients. Dr. Kalish, we did a video to send a podiatrist because he's saying, you know what? Podiatrists don't know what chiropractors do. It's our job, doctors, to educate them. So watch what I'm telling you. If Perry and I have 250 clinics in 46 states, and I can get 20 podiatrists to refer to 20 clinics, look how many more people that we're touching. We're the innovators, doctors. Why are we doing this Zoom meeting tonight? I have better things to do. But you know what, doctors? It's part of our legacy. I want our doctors to be the best doctors. I always say to my doctors, the road to success is always under construction. When you come to the new boot camps, oh my God, where do you see? We don't have one, we don't have two, we don't have three, we now have four conference rooms. We do portrait photos, we do commercials, we do educational, we do marketing, the basics, the marketing. This becomes like a football team. We have an offensive coordinator, we have a defensive coordinator. You know, there's so much because we want our doctors not just to be in this to make money. We want you to be the best. I want you to know about the Low study that talks about, you know, photomodulation. I want you to know about the Cockpit study and the Burke study that's in the American Journal of Pediatrics that talks about the reversal sometimes of neuropathy. I want you to talk about the Cockpit study, doctors, that talks about, you know, that how with balance we can help maintain the longevity of patients. I want you to understand that there are so many studies. And if I go into the Feinberg study, doctors, that talks about spinal disorders and bulging discs. So here's the question I'm going to tell you, everybody. How many times when you do your initial examination do you test them for neuropathy? Well, Michael Smith did a beautiful job so that we know that we can do the Sem-Weinstein test. We know that we can utilize filaments. We know that we can utilize hot and cold. We can also utilize balance. We talked about a stand test that we will be going through this. If you're a client, ask yourself this question. When was I at their last boot camp? And then when you talk about Dwayne Clemens, hold on. We signed a deal. This is America. I want you to know where your money goes. Perry and I don't just put it in our pockets. We just signed a deal with Dwayne Clemens, who works with the NFL, not the National Feminine League, the National Football League. And the National Football League does a thing for charity for underprivileged children that they do a podcast every week. And every team must pick an NFL player. So people like Kelsey and people like Patrick Mahomes, these are on the podcast. Perry and I will be the primary sponsors, not the secondary, not the tertiary. We will be the primary sponsors of this podcast with Wayne Clemens. We will be in Vegas next week, educating the West Coast people. And we have doctors that want to be around us. Why? Doctors, because every one of you, as I look at you, and I know each and every one of you that's on, you're making a difference. Do you understand what a gift it is to be a doctor? Do you understand what a gift it is to touch people? Do you understand what a gift it is to wake up in the morning and know that you're going to change lives? You have to realize, you have to be able to look in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, am I the greatest doctor of them all? I want you to know I'm the best me I can be. And I don't want people to forget me one day when I no longer walk this planet. I mean, there are so many people. We remember Jim Parker. We remember Sid Williams. But there have been a lot of good people. Give you an example. Very few people remember Dominic Lafort. Dominic Lafort trained David Singer. He trained Larry Markson. He trained all these people. He trained Peter Fernandez, but they don't know him. Perry Bart and I will be remembered. We remember through our sons, Jason and Devin. We'll be remembered for the work that we do. We're going to remember for Distance America because nobody has ever created a niche that we did. And when you start studying the Murphy study that talks about balance from the Mayo Clinic, and we can introduce and then we have Nasir Dr. Nasir, doctors, okay, from Emory, Dr. Kalish with Emory. These are icons. And hold on. And then the knee program, if you're not registered yet, doctors, I assure you it will be sold out. We are bringing in trainers. Barry Weinberg, who worked for the Yankees, Barry Weinberg, who worked for the Oakland A's, who worked with some of the great Mickey Mantles, some of the greatest players in baseball will be there talking about how we can prevent people from having surgery. You see, doctors, being a doctor is more than about making a living, it's about making a life. It's about having a purpose, about knowing why you're on this planet and what you can do. So when you look at the Start and Weiss study and you realize that sciatica is also a symptom of neuropathy. So if I have a decompression case and they have sciatica, and I can do a balance test or a test, and I can now turn the case into a decompression neuropathy case, how much is one case worth to you? Doctors. We did this tonight. Perry said, let's do this. And we did it for three reasons. One is because we love you guys. We really do. Not temporarily. Like I said, I have better things to do tonight. I could be outside smoking a cigar tonight and telling my wife how beautiful he is and telling Jason what a great son he is. But we doctors, every one of you that's on tonight, your goal tomorrow is to make a difference. If you can touch one patient, if you can motivate one person, see, you want to double your practice, doctors? Get every patient to refer one patient, but they will not refer to you if if they think you're in it for the money. But if you're giving, loving, serving, okay, touching and healing, people will love you. My other son, Michael, who went to medical school, he said, Dad, I don't want to give flu shots for a living. He says, I want to make a difference. And now he's working in research with genetic illnesses. I look at the Baron Binder study that shows that back pain is also another symptom of neuropathy. When you understand that the START study talks about sciatica, when you understand that the Berry study and the Cochrane study and the Rosenbaum study talks about nerve impingement, this is what we do. There are five components of a subluxation. Neuropathology, neuropathology is one of those five components. In my heart, doctors, there has never been a better time for chiropractic than there is now. Never. Because we're the underdogs. We're the guy that we're like sneaking up on the field. Medical doctors are excited about what we do. If you talk to my son Jason, he'll tell you that probably 30% of his practice is medical referrals. What? And if you look at my hat, I don't know if you can see it closely, this says America big, Life University small. Big, small. We're the big,
Is that
small.
a typo?
And that's why, no. And that's why, doctors, we did it. So, tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to look in the mirror and when you brush your teeth and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, am I the best doctor of them all? And if not, the mirror, believe it or not, doctors, it will answer you. And then I'm saying to you, do you love what you do? And if not, why not? Because I'm going to tell you, being a doctor is a gift. When we had a guy like Dr. Kalish, who did a video that we're going to give all of our doctors, that you'll be able to send a podiatrist. So you don't just send the video, then you're going to call them and say, did you get the video? Then you're going to say, did you watch the video? And then you'll invite them out for breakfast and a lunch. Imagine if you can get one referral a month from a podiatrist. Well, at $5,000-6,000 a case, that could add 60,000 to you a year. And then at the knee program, oh my God, we have one of the leading knee people in America. We have one of the leading physical therapists in America. We have Dwayne Clemens going to be there. Hopefully, Dr. Nasir will be back. Okay, Dr. Nasir, Emory University. We're working on trying to get a research study done with Emory University. Our plans, doctors, is we will have the largest research study in the history of spinal decompression done with myself, Dr. Bard, our two sons, Life University, and every one of the founders. Every one of the founders will be listed in this research study, and it'll be with over 1,000 cases. Why? Because if you have an anacus spinal, we will let you into the study because it gives you pre and post. It makes you do an oswestry on every visit. You see, doctors, what are you doing tomorrow that's making a difference in everybody's lives tomorrow? I know today I am trying to make a better tomorrow for you, to make a better tomorrow for your family, to make a better tomorrow for the profession. Because I honestly believe, doctors, in the world of chaos, as you leave tonight and you watch television, how many drug commercials are you going to watch? How many? And then what are the side effects? Let me tell you the side effects of decompression. Oh, I feel better. That's a great side effect. But imagine we're going to create a scholarship fund thanks to the founders. So if you're not a founder yet, we got the university to agree up until May, you can become a founder. We'll open up another pattern and there will be a scholarship fund. So this will go to research and scholarships. You know, if you don't know the START study talks about sciatica again. See, if I can get a decompression case for $5,000 and then make them pay another $3,000 for neuropathy or $6,000, I just created a $9,000 case. Dr. Bard and I, when we do continuing education, we don't talk about money. But tonight I'm going to talk about money. What's one new patient worth to you? If I can add one decompression case to you at $5,000, if I can add one neuropathy case to you at $5,000, if I can add one knee case to you for $5,000, one a month, that's worth $180,000 to your practice. Why are we number one? Why do we have 250 clinics in 46 states? Our doctors make money. It's plain and simple. They might like me. Outside of my wife and Perry and my sons, probably no one else does, but I don't care. But I do know that the profession loves me because Perry and I have made a difference. And tonight, doctors, we decided to do this off the limb as a review because so many people wrote in so many questions. Perry and I were so busy all week, A, thanking you for your testimonials, and B, answering questions. So we said, you know what? Let's do a brief review. And that's what we're here. So Perry, ask some questions.
So before we get it started, I just want to thank Dr. Melissa Falkenberry. Yeah, you. We're gonna miss you this weekend, but we'll see you in April. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But Dr. Morissette, we're so pumped to see you, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Krivolovak. Yeah, say that 3 times backwards. I can, Dr. K. You know it. We're gonna see you this weekend. We're gonna see a lot of our doctors this weekend. We have Dr. Dobbs. We're excited to see you. I mean, we have so many. We have a big boot camp this weekend. And Dr. Carlson, yeah, not Dr. Smith next time. I know. It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. We'll take great care of him. Mark my words. Mark my words. Um, the only reason I wanted to mention that before we get started is Dr. Falkenberry. I have to give credit where credit's due. I'm standing outside the Life Clinic. Grand opening. They're getting ready to do the scissor. And Dr. Melissa Falkenberry comes up to me and she says, you know why this is so cool? And I said, why, my dear doctor? And she said, because this is where my next associate is coming from. Why would I remember? Do you remember? Shake your head, right? You think this goes this way. Trust me, it goes here. It goes here. And the reason you said that was because they're already trained in the system. Genius. Light bulb moment. Wow. Well, guess what? We're going to follow your path of success. And next week, for the first time ever, Dr. Devin Bard will be advertising for his first associate doctor, and he's only less than 6 months in practice. Thanks to you. Think about that, huh? Yeah. I don't see too many other doctors 6 months in practice now ready to order, getting ready to plug in associates. You know why? Because he's a student of the game, just like all of you. He knows the system works. Run the plays, follow the plays, go all in. Good things happen. Let's dive into the questions. Oh my God. So I have to apologize to you one more time. Boy, I don't think I ever apologized twice in ever. We didn't have time to type it up. This was so impromptu. Like usually, you know how like they type up the questions and that, right? We didn't have time to do that because we're going to Vegas. We got so much stuff planned for you guys. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Oh, so much
Sold
fun.
out in Vegas.
Sold out. 100% sold out.
I will not do any more consults. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm max.
Again, sold out. We're thankful to you for selling us out again. All right, so here we got a couple of them. I don't know how many we're going to get to. So let me do this. I'm going to turn the light on my phone real quick, and let's see if I can see because they. All right. All right. Ready for this one? Here we go. I've been in DC for 40 plus years. Whoa. Why is spinal decompression neuropathy more popular now? Patients always have disc problems and nerve problems in my practice. However, it appears something has changed. Am I missing something? Wow. Thank you, Dr. J.
You know,
from North Carolina.
The answer,
Am I
Perry,
missing something?
The answer is yes, you are, because you have to understand many people would not talk about bulging and herniated discs when they were in chiropractic school. We learned about a subluxation. But a subluxation becomes a bulge, and a bulge becomes a herniation. As dentistry has evolved over the years from being basically from fillings to doing root canals to doing implants to cosmetic dentistry, we have learned the same thing in chiropractic. We have evolved. We are no longer Apple 1. We're no longer Apple 10. We're now Apple 16. We realize that there are many people that have surgery. If you look at the many studies that I can talk to you from the Dr. Ray study, the Dr. Dio study, the Dr. Hildenbaum study, it's showing that failed back surgery is now of epidemic proportions. And if they don't have surgery doctors, where do they go? Every person in your community that has surgery is because maybe they didn't know about decompression. And I've spoken with people from Jack Nicklaus to the people that handle Tiger Woods, and they didn't know. I mean, poor Jack Nicklaus, who I was with a couple of weeks ago, had more injections in his back, not even knowing that all the steroids creates avascular necrosis. But see, doctors, as we have studied this, and we have people like Dwayne Clems, who now is going to be doing a podcast. And by the way, doctors, so you know this, if you're a client of ours, he's going to promote This Says America on every podcast with every NFL veteran every week. Why do we do this? This is the money you pay us, Perry. We pay it out because we want This Says America and you doctors to be the best, to be the best on the planet, to be able to make a difference, to be able to enjoy being a doctor. Say, I'm a founder. I'm part of This Says America. I'm part of the university, and I'm part of something great. I'm part of a great scholarship fund. Maybe it'll be the DCOA Kaplan Bard Scholarship Fund. Whatever it is, we will create it. And we're working with Nasir and Kalish by doing research. We have something for podiatrists to reach out to them. One podiatry patient a month, doctor, could bring you 70 to 60 to $70,000 a year. And they're dying for you. They need you. And then we'll get one from dentists because he doesn't even know this. But the one that Kayla did, I'm going to have Justin Barr do it because he is also a chiropractic patient. And he knows that leaning over people with your arm all day creates a lot of, pain in the neck and brachial radiculitis. We have the greatest profession in the world, and we don't know it. Many of you don't know it. You might say, gee, I know it's good. No, no, no. It's the greatest. Your profession basically has no side effects. You pay the lowest malpractice insurance of any other major profession. Why is that? Why? Lowest risk. And when you read the Rashbaum study, and you understand that the Rashbaum study, which talks about neuropathy, talks about nerve impairment, and then doctors, let me ask you another question. Do you realize that I will guarantee you that 50% of your decompression patients, 50 to 60%, have a form of neuropathy? So I just turned a $6,000 case into a $9,000 case. And at boot camp, we'll show you how to do it because in the new boot camps, ooh, are they magical. When do you come to the new clinic? And why did we expand the clinic? Not that we had to. We didn't want, but we want to, if we want you to be the best, we have to be the best. And that's what we do. Next question.
Thank you for everybody's hanging out with us, by the way, all our family members. We never come empty handed. We're not coming empty handed. So hang out with us a little bit longer because I want to share something with you. You can call it a gift. Yeah. All right. So let's go. All right. This is interesting. Do I need expensive technology to treat nerve? And this case is this is interesting. I'm an upper cervical practitioner, however, willing to learn. All right, Dr. Nancy from Illinois. So,
First of all, I'm going to show you right now the two greatest technologies.
all right. So
I'll give you.
Is it next question?
Hold on. I'm going to give you a high pie. Yes, pie's form. But you know what? Listen, we've come a long way from B.J. Palmer. My uncle Al Brenner was an upper cervical practitioner. But I learned when I became the doctor for the Miami Heat. I learned when Kevin Lockery was the coach, brought in one of his players with back pain, He didn't want to just know of a cervical adjustment. He wanted to know what I was going to do for his back pain. And then working with Norman Shealy, we started to understand about a bulge, a subluxation. We started learning about sacral shear, which is sacral subluxation. You see, we've evolved as Apple has evolved. We're better now than we've ever been. And we have to fight for the recognition that we need to do as a profession. And that's what you need to do. Because tomorrow someone's going to come in and they might say, oh, I don't know if I believe in chiropractic. And my response is, well, I don't know if I believe in you. You see, chiropractic's a proven science. We can go to study after study. And decompression, we can talk about the Shealy study, the Bergmeyer study, the Wasserman study, the Ironman study, the Kalladia study, the Boudreau study. You want me to keep naming studies? The Harwood study, the Lowe study. I'll go on and on. There's a STAR study, the Baron Binder study. What about the Boxell Martin study that shows that the disc has the propensity to heal itself? And then when you have people, medical people like Dr. Nasir, Dr. Kalish, okay, and then we have one of the leading orthopedic surgeons in America coming for our knee program. You know what? Don't just do it for the money, doctors. I will promise you our knee program will be sold out because we're doing it at Life University and they can only put so many people in a room. But I will tell you, if you want to do knees, you talk to Dr. Mark Lasagio, he does 3 to 4 knees a week at $6,000. That's 12 to 24,000 a week. Add it up. What if you did one a month? That's $72,000 a year. What if you did one neuropathy a month? That's $72,000 a year. What if you did one decompression a month? That's $72,000 a year. I just told you how to do $210,000 a year by adding one a month. You see, doctors, you have to look in the mirror and say, this is my time to be the best doctor I can be. I'm not saying it's easy because you know what? You're going to deal with some rejection. But that's why we created a pre-report video for neuropathy. That's why we created a pre-report video for knees. Why? Because we realized how well it works for decompression. You see, there are many people that are trying to get into the decompression business, but here's what they don't know. They don't know the science that our doctors have. They don't have the videos that our doctors have. They don't have the marketing that our doctors have. We have the best of the best. Listen, they're graduating chiropractors every year. But you know what? The brand, when I was the president of Nutrisystem, they never called up and said, how's the food? They bought into the brand. Imagine this sends America big, Life University small. Why? Because they needed us. And we signed a deal with them. And I'm going to tell you, that's why I say to everybody here, listen, if you want to talk to me about being a founder, great. Why? Because you're going to be part of a scholarship fund. You're going to be part of research. You're going to be involved in research studies. You're going to get beautiful certificates, beautiful press releases. You know what? As I told one of the doctors today, this is my legacy, Perry. How will Eric Kaplan be remembered? I want to be remembered as someone that took decompression to the next level. I was someone that said that I brought medical doctors and chiropractors. It's no longer the Hatfields and the McCoys doctors. MDs are not the enemies. My son gets 30% of his practice from MDs. This is the time for us to come together and be unified because you know what it comes down to? See, it's not whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It's whether you're American. It's not whether they're a medical patient or a chiropractic patient. These are patients and they want help. They want help. And you can help them. You can help them. You can prevent them from having back surgery. Do you realize as we talk about it, you go to my son's website, wellingtondiscenter.com, epidurals are not FDA approved for back pain. Epidurals can cause avascular necrosis. Epidurals can cause epicondylitis. Decompression, you know what it causes? Relief. I always say, I'm not only the president of Hair Club for Men, I'm a user. Question.
You know, I thought I was like terrible at like keeping secrets. You definitely could pass me now. Yeah, we'll talk more about it in the future. Not one of the best orthopedic surgeons in the world, the number one ranked orthopedic surgeon in the world for you know what. And we have a verbal commitment. Oh, if you saw this guy's resume, we're gonna blow your minds. We're gonna blow your minds. Here we go. Ready? Is this came from California? So I think this is interesting. Is accepting insurance for neuropathy and in this case is suggested? My patients, some of my patients may have benefits. However, I prefer a cash practice. Any suggestions? Yeah, probably PI benefits. That's about it in California. So
You
what do you
know,
think?
insurance, Perry, is state by state specific. Sometimes you have to create a hybrid program, meaning even Medicare will pay for subluxations, but it won't pay for laser. It won't pay for neuropathy. It won't pay for matrix. It won't pay for a lot of other things. We tell people all the time, listen, we will accept, we will fill out the forms for you. You can bill it to your insurance company, but it's your goal to fight with them. Our job now is to get you well, not to fight with your insurance companies. So the answer is some insurances. Listen, if you're a pro athlete, yeah, pro golfers, PGA, Major League Baseball, they pay for everything. You see, but most people choose the cheapest insurance. But you'll fill out the forms and say you fight with them because there's no reason, doctors, that they shouldn't pay you. You can send them the research studies. We even got President Trump to work on getting veterans approved for decompression, but we had to fight for it. And you have to fight for it. Nobody, I've learned in life, Perry, nobody will give you anything, but you have to fight for it. And that's who we are as chiropractors. We're the world's greatest underdogs. Watch the movie Rudy. You're Rudy. You're Rudy. You're playing on the biggest field in the world in a profession that at one point called you quacks, called you charlatans, and here we are. We're surviving and we're stronger than ever. And that's our goal. It's not where we will be 10 years from now. Where will you be and where will the profession be? And how can you put the profession in a better place? Well, we believe working with Life University and doing what we do, as I said, doctors, if you want to know outside of my wife and family, what do I love the most? I love being a doctor. You could not write me a check today for $1 million to say you can never use the word doctor again in front of your name. I turn it down. 2 million, turn it around. 3 million, I would turn it down. 4 million, turn it down. 5 million, I'll think about it. 6 million. I love being a doctor. And you doctors, I'm going to tell you, if I leave you with one message tonight, embrace who you are. Know that you are. Listen, would you rather? I look at people all the time. I'll tell you Perry, I never told you this story. When I belonged to Bear Lakes Country Club, there was a woman there. Her name's Diane, right, Perry? And she was in charge of all the intake before you play golf, and she was in charge of all the ordering, right? Then, Perry, guess what? I drive to McDonald's last week. I told Bonnie the story, and I hear the voice. Can I take your order? And you know me, I want a quarter pounder with cheese and some fries. And I pull up, and there's Diane, who used to work at Bear Lakes. And now she's at the counter at McDonald's. And I said, Diane, what happened? Well, I had some health issues and nobody else would hire me. You see, doctors, nobody has to hire you because God has chosen you to be a doctor and nobody can fire you. So you need to just fire yourself up and be thankful because, so what I did, Perry, I'm not going to lie. When I paid my order, I gave her a $50 tip. And I said, it's so good to see you again. And she felt terrible because she was working at McDonald's. So at one time working at a private golf club. But see, life is not easy. And you know what? And you say, oh, that can't happen. Steve Jobs was the president of Apple, and they fired him. Now, he could have gone in a hole, but what he did is he went and recreated himself. You know, if you look at Colonel Sanders, he was in his 60s when he developed Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, if you look at, you know, the movie Founder, which stars Ray Kroc, he was 56 years old. I believe, Perry, listen, every day is a great day. You know, life is not for living, loving, laughing, and learning. Okay? It's more than whining, worrying, and working. Because every day that you live, love, laugh, and learn, it's a great day. Because there's one thing I'll promise you out of life, guys. You're not getting out of it alive. So you might as well live, laugh, learn, be thankful for who you are. I love being a doctor. Any more questions? Are we done?
Yeah, no, we have a few more.
I'll do it
Um,
only because I love you.
yeah, how about this? I have probably like six more, so why don't we
I'll give
just
you
do two
three.
more? Let's do like two more. Do you want like a clinical one or do you want
Ask me anything.
I'm gonna try. Let's see. You got wow. Let me see. Let me see. This is interesting. What is working for all right. Well, all right. So
Bubba.
are you
Bubba.
all right? This is an interesting one because I actually know who sent this in. Are you accepting new client doctors? It seems almost all your trainings are sold out. I know who this is. How do I get first access? Steve, Dr. Steve.
Well, it's very
Yeah,
simple. Listen, you know, we always provide access. It's just a matter of we,
timing.
you
That's
know,
a timing thing. Yeah.
we try to do things in an organized system. We don't always do everything in seminars. When we do the event in Florida, we did the Cairo event. We limit it to 12 people, and then they have to go to the next one. Why? Because the bottom line, doctors, is we want honesty. We want them to be candid. We want them to learn. You see, every event, people should walk away with one new patient. Every boot camp, people should walk away with a new patient. Now, I'm doing a boot camp this Friday. My promise, doctors, to every one of you that's attending or not attending, if you attend, you're going to get one new patient in the next week. You will convert another decompression case, another neuropathy case, another knee case. And if you're not there in March, you need to be there in April. And we'll do another one in April. And we'll bring on new doctors in Vegas. And we'll bring on new doctors in the knee program. My son said to me today, Dad, you're working too hard. And I said, I'm hardly working. This is fun because, guys, every time you meet with a new patient, you have the ability to make a difference in their lives. Do you realize how few people have that responsibility? How many people have that gift from God that you can actually make people feel better, be more productive, be happier, be healthier? I mean, doctors, I ask you today to walk away tonight and say a prayer to whoever you do and say, thank you for making me a doctor. And tomorrow, I want you to hug your patients. Don't tug them. I want you to be a hugger, not a tugger. And be grateful that they came to your office, they sat and wait, and they trusted you. Do you realize, doctors, what it's like for a person with back pain to trust you? Do you realize what a gift that is? I've had back pain. And to trust you, to put their health in your hands, oh my God, this is the greatest profession in the world. Listen, I tell people all the time, I applied to dental school. I didn't get accepted. But would my life be so much different if I was a dentist? I choose to be a chiropractor. Next question, PB.
So we actually have a slide for this. It says I know who this is actually. I know who sent this in. Um, oh, it's so cool. But Dr. Heyer, we're so excited to see you this weekend. By the way, we we are, brother. We are. It's great. Another all our family members are still joining. All right, somebody wanted to speak to you. Do you have a way to contact him? I know who this is. This is Dr. Luca. Dr. Luca, you just attended. I know you wanted to speak to Dr. Kaplan. You might actually be on. I don't know. Um, what? Let me do this. I want to share the screen before we go because I have something for you guys. So yeah, let's go. All right. So yeah, special surprise. So so we want you to listen. We don't do a training without bringing. We don't walk in somebody's house without bringing a cake. Can't walk in empty-handed. You know what I'm talking about. Only some of you know what I'm talking about. You don't walk in empty-handed. What do? You run to a place called Entenmann's, and you get the pound cake and the crumble coffee cake, and you walk in the door and you present that. But that's for another day. Free gift to our family. Yeah, baby, let's go. So guess what's happening? Yeah, let's go. The National Neuropathy Decompression Certificate Program video. We have a special gift for you guys for our family of doctors. They're working on it right now. It's actually, believe it or not, it's a highlight reel. We actually have a highlight reel of all the best excerpts of all the speakers of the 9 hour program. You say, wait a minute, I thought it was only 8 hours. Yeah, we ran an hour over. If you were there, you know what I mean. So what we did was our video team is actually taking all the like all the shots and all the like the sound bites and everything in there. Making it's going to be just so you know, it's probably going to be about 60 to 90 minutes, probably maybe around 75 minutes if I had to guess. And it's just like a fast track. You could watch it, and it's just a reminder of the most powerful weekend. And we might actually have a little grand opening footage actually put in that as well, just so you can remember how great and celebratory it was. That's our gift to you. And when it's done, we're going to send it out. Yeah, it's going to be that cool. We also have the new Super Boot Camps. The next one is this weekend. It's sold out, by the way. Not sold out. We don't, they're always free if you're part of our family. So all the seats are gone, is what we mean. But there are seats still left for Friday, April 17th. If you want to attend, please send an email to newpatientnow@aol.com. And this was dedicated to a number of doctors. They were curious. They want to talk. They want to talk. What do I got to do to join? It's real simple. You got to talk to Dr. Kaplan so he can muscle test you and see if you're cut from the right cloth. That's simple. That's simple. But you can call me first, 561-654-1300, and let's discuss it if you want. We actually have a true wait list of doctors that actually want to join and they say, when that area opens, I want that market, I want that area. What do I got to do? Well, we have a very high re-sign rate, and that's because we under-promise, we over-deliver. It's what we teach. We're showing you our hand. We teach how we play poker. And that is to underpromise, overdeliver, wow your patients, make it an awesome experience, and do it with visual tools, do it with auditory tools, do it with the best marketing, raise your credibility, raise your status, raise your celebrity, raise your authority, make patients want to come see you, make them hungry and willing and able and excited and enthusiastic and motivated to come see you because you may be their last option. Yeah. You want to talk about high quality patients? High quality patients are patients like Jason Kaplan gets that are ready to get surgery. So they come to see Dr. Jason Kaplan as the last option with the hope, wish, and prayer that he can offer them something better. But what does he do? He guarantees nothing. He guarantees nothing verbally. He guarantees nothing in writing. Quite the opposite. He totally understates it. But he tells them this, and he tells them this is the medical research. This is what your medical radiologist has already diagnosed. Guess what? We already have a second opinion here. I didn't know if you already had did you know that? We already have a medical second opinion. Let me read you the MRI. Let me show you the actual physical model. Let me pull out the charts. Let me pull out the graphics. Let me pull out the software. Let me show you how, and then let's touch and tell Jim Parker, and then let's talk about above, down, inside out. Yeah. And then let's connect the dots and let's give the patient a realistic, viable chance. And one of the things, I'll give you a big takeaway. You want one big takeaway? Oh gosh, we're going to do this in volume on Friday. If you talk to Dr. Jason Kaplan and you ask him, what's the minimal amount of visits you prescribe? Not recommend. That's an old chiropractic word. Prescribe. What's the least amount of visits? He'll tell you in a nutshell. I never do less than 20 visits. Now, did he make that up? No. That's based upon medical research. That there's never been a medical research study in the history of non-surgical spinal decompression that ever showed efficacy less than 20 visits. So when a patient comes to you and says, let me try it out. Let me just see how it goes. Can I just do 10 visits? Oh, we could do like 8 hours on this stuff. But instead, what we're going to do is thank you for joining us. We're going to thank you for attending. If you're part of our family of doctors, April 17th is the next boot camp. There will be another one in June. But we're going to be in Vegas next week, completely sold out. And for those who want to attend the Cairo event, there is one more on the books for this year. It is in April. April, you can go to thecairoevent.com, the chiropractic, and that's the day after the boot camp. So all those doctors that are there for boot camp will be filling up the seats the next day at the Cairo event. Dr. K, before we run, anything you want to share before we run?
You know what? I mean, no different, Perry, that doctors like referrals. We do. If you have a friend, or as Jason had one of his classmates who contacted us, and now we've already doubled his practice, and you have somebody that wants to talk to us, listen, if we can make the profession, the more Distance America we have, the stronger we are as a group. Rudyard Kipling said, the strength of the pack is in the wolf, but the strength of the wolf is in the pack. You see, as we come together as a group, That's our strength. That's our uniqueness. That's our independence. So when you have all these imitators that are coming along with, I mean, we see machines and equipment that not even FDA cleared. We know that like the Neon track is only FDA cleared as a exercise equipment, and yet the AccuKnee is FDA cleared as a medical device. You need to learn, doctors, one, how to make more money, how to stay out of trouble, how to enjoy your life, and how to appreciate being a doctor. If you're with Perry and I, those are our goals. What are our goals to you? We want you to make more money. We want you to have a good home life. We want you to appreciate your family. We want you to make more money. And we want you to love being a doctor. If those things sound good to you, I look forward to spending time with you because I know that the road to success is always under construction and we're building the best bridge in the history of this profession. Thank you and good night.